Turn it around, open the windows of heaven, pour out a blessing, overflow. Turn it around, open the windows of heaven, pour out a blessing we cannot contain. Let it rain. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That song has just been stuck in my head all morning. Let's go ahead and get the formalities out of the way. I honestly thought I wasn't going to make it on time because I was at church a little bit later than I'm used to. Just for as playing is concerned, because we had a new person up there and we had to, play around them. So we had to do a little bit extra, plus I was talking to my bro Chris afterwards. So I got here just in the nick of time to get home and then feed Kenzo, which I just got finished doing. So let's go ahead and get started with today's chapters. Let's go ahead and do it. Yo, peoples, Kyushu United 2 here, and welcome back to yet another One Piece chapter reaction and review. In the last chapter, Shanks just flexed on everybody. And while Ryokugyu was trying to contend with Momonosuke, Yamato, and Nakazaya 9, Shanks shot out like a big, massive wave of Conqueror's haki, or at least just haki in general, that Ryokugyu could feel from all the way in Wano, and Shanks was all the way out to sea, and Ryokugyu just left his Logia form, is all like, okay, I'm not ready to fight you guys yet. Fine, I'll back off, I'll leave. Because the thing is, Ryokugyu went to Wano unannounced. Even Akainu didn't even know he went there, with the hopes of bringing back the head of Luffy in order to, please his favorite fan, please his favorite idol, I think. But that happened, and it turns out that Jinbei, Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy were all watching this go down, but it's all like, yeah, let's not interfere with this fight that's going on. And everyone noticed that haki that Shanks put out, and Luffy was left behind thinking, I think it's all right. I don't know why, but that sense, that presence just gives me like a familiar feeling. And let's go! First of all, good to see you, Abir, Kohagen, Detective Fox, Grand Dolman, and Ogata-san. And we have a break next week. Yeah, it shows it right here on Viz. Let's go ahead and get started with 1056! Cross Guild. And it looks like the Vinsmoke siblings, Germa 66's An Emotionless Excursion, Volume 15, Katakuri and Oven arrive. So, Katakuri's back. Wow, we haven't seen Katakuri ever since he got beat by Luffy in Whole Cake Island. This is the first time we're seeing Katakuri again. This is the first time we're seeing him. And him and Oven are preparing to fight Ichiji, Niji, Yonji, and Reiju as they're trying to escape Whole Cake Island. And, well, while it shows that Oven's using his heat ability, it shows Katakuri already using his Peerless Donuts, complete with Block Mochi Fists. So the same thing he used during the later half of Luffy's fight, he immediately goes with Block Mochi against the Vinsmokes right here and now. Wow, you're facing off against... They're facing off against Katakuri. They got their work cut out for them. They face a user that can use all three forms of haki and has an incredibly versatile Paramecia. And Oven's there too, but Katakuri. The party in the Flower Capital is over. Hang in there, Raizo. Just look how god you are. Don't die, Shinobu. What terrible sorcery. Wow. So when Ryokugyu grabbed onto Raizo and Shinobu, he drained them of so much moisture. Wow, Raizo is no longer as big as he used to be. Shinobu is almost as skinny as she was before she got older. And someone is saying, it might be Kinemon saying, as much as I hate to admit it, the man had a point. Kaido was a tyrant, but at the same time, his presence kept enemies away. Alas, I am sorry. All of this was happening while I was away in Kuri, and I had no idea. And Kinemon bows his head in the face of everyone right here, because Tristan and Miyagi are taking care of Raizo and Shinobu right now. And I had no idea.
Hey, what's done is done, and the damage was minimal, all thanks to Lord Momonosuke,
says Nekomamushi. And then Nekomamushi says,
and how was Otsuru?
And then Kinemon says, Okobori town burned to the ground, and Tsuru has a terrible burn on her face, but she is alive and well. And then an old lady says to Otsuru,
Otsuru, is it true? Has King come back?
And then Otsuru says, yes, although he's returned to the capital for now.
Your friend in capital too. You should go to him.
I know. I want to be at his side too. And then Kinemon, smiling with a big old gush on his face, goes, I have to say, after 20 years, she's still just as beautiful. And then Inuarashi says, hey, dogs like cheese, but not that much cheese. And then Kiku says, that's so sweet, Master Keen. And then Raizo, who's completely drained of moisture, says, oh, wish I had a girl. And then Nekomamushi says, focus on your recovery, Raizo. And then it cuts to Carrot. Carrot is just eating everything. And then Carrot comes in saying,
what's up? You called for me, Duke Dogstorm, Cat Viper?
Ah, there you are, Carrot.
Yugara
would be the new king of Mokudo Kingdom. What? I'm sorry? What? What? I'm sorry? Carrot may not be becoming the new Straw Hat, but she's becoming the new ruler of Zou! I'm sorry, my brain froze up when I read that. Yugara will be the new king of Mokumo Dukedom.
The king? Yay! Sure thing. Wait! King? No way! I can't do that!
Says Carrot. Well, the truth is, Cat and I have decided to stay here in Wano and serve Lord Momonosuke as samurai of the Kozuki clan.
Ah! You are one of the few who have been out to see the world, thanks to Luffy. That means you have some of what we need here. That means you must have some of what we need in the next era.
And Carrot doesn't say anything. And then Carrot says,
but there's so many people who are way stronger than me.
And then the Three Musketeers comes up and Shishilian says, of course there are, and our job is to protect the country. And then Wanda comes up and says, I'll help you too. This was the two kings' decision, Carrot. But most importantly of all, you tear your heart carries Pedro's will in it. And then Carrot just goes, Pedro. And then I guess either Nekomamushi or Inuarashi says, to sum it up, we're leaving Zou to Yugara, young folks. And then it just shows Zunisha just out to sea, just walking with a mist around it. And then someone says, grandfather! And then it's Sukiyaki. Yes, I am Odin's father. And then, he's there with Hiyori and Momonosuke right now. He's actually revealed himself. But the thing that gets him is they immediately hug him. They immediately hug him, and then Sukiyaki goes, I'm sorry, children. I'm sorry. Thank you. You truly do look like Odin, Momonosuke. Grandfather, we've lost our parents. Just knowing that another relative is still alive is such a relief. And then Hiyori says, I feel the same way. Please don't apologize. And then Sukiyaki goes, I suppose you were all aware then. And then Kawamatsu says,
Who would wear a Tengu mask when there is no festival? You did not seem like an ordinary blacksmith.
And then Kiku goes,
We thought it would be rude to reveal it.
and then Denjiro doesn't say anything, and Kinemon is just silent in the background. And then Kinemon reveals himself to be the only oblivious one truly among the Akazaya Nine, as he thinks, he was Lord Sukiyaki this whole time! I had no idea! I thought my heart was going to leap out of my chest! At least he's alive, though. That part's good. And then Sukiyaki goes, I have things that I can teach you, but that is all I'm good for anymore. After that, please let me resume my seclusion from the public. This era is yours to build. We brought this up. We brought up how Momonosuke never got a chance to learn how to create poneglyphs or, read them or make poneglyphs from Odin, because Odin never learned that from his father, Sukiyaki. But now that Sukiyaki is here, Momonosuke still has a way of being able to do that. And then Kinemon says, yes, sir, just knowing you're alive is a source of great strength. I'm still shocked. And then Frankie gets told by Robin, what? Pluton is in this country? And then Robin says to him,
Yes, I wasn't able to see it for myself, but it is here.
Can't believe that thing actually exists. And it shows the Straw Hats all in one room together. And then Luffy goes, the one Frankie burned the plans for? That's right, the ancient weapon Pluton, which bears the name of a god. Do you want it, Luffy? Nah, I'm good. That's what I figured, but it makes me wonder, why did Odin want to unleash such a thing? And then Shinobu shows up with, holy crap! Whoa! Whoa! Wait a minute. Shinobu's back to her slim self again. Wow. Okay, so we got Tama, who's in some kunoichi-like looking gear, and she has her fingers up next to Shinobu. Shinobu's gone back to her slim, attractive self that she looked like back in during Odin's time. She's back to being super slim. Did Alvida just transfer the powers of the slip fruit to her? Because Shinobu's back to being slim and curvy again. Not like, more mature, I'll say that. But Shinobu shows up going,
What was that? Did I hear you say that a mature woman can be a devastating weapon?
And then Frankie just goes, who the heck are you?
It's me, Shinobu. I'm just a little haggard from an accident.
And then Sanji jumps up with hearts in his eyes going, really? You're so beautiful when you're haggard. And then it cuts to Tama, who shows up in front of Luffy going,
Hey, big bro, I'm Shinobu's apprentice now. I'm gonna be real tough by the next time you see me. Then you can let me join your crew.
And then Nami runs up to her because Tama's doing a little ninja pose right next to Nami. And Nami says,
Oh, Tama, you're so cute.
And then Luffy says, sure, if you can use ninjutsu by then. And then we see a goopy person in the background listening to this entire... a goopy person is listening into this entire conversation. But Tama screams out, yay! Because Luffy says, like, if you can use ninjutsu by then sure. But this goopy person that's dripping in the background, not being seen by anyone, is Caribou. And Caribou is thinking, Pluton's in Wano? I don't believe it. Pluton's in Wano? First Poseidon, now this. I gotta let a certain someone know about this. Who's a certain someone? We're only on pages 8 and 9. Who's the certain someone? Is Caribou working for someone? Someone else? Days later, Lord Shogun, we have the reconstruction plans for each domain now. And then it has this person saying, so as for the funds needed, and Momonosuke isn't saying anything. And then he looks down and he looks at people in the streets. Shogun? Lord Shogun! And then it shows people bowing to him saying, Shogun! As Momonosuke is walking past. And then he opens up the door and he says, hey, Zoro, would you teach me some sword fighting tech? Neeks? Huh? Luffy? Zoro? And no one's in the room. And then he gets nervous, and then he starts running around. Onami? Usopp? Sanji? Chaparimon? Robin? Frankie? Bonkichi? Jinbei? Yamato? Where is everyone? And then it shows Hiyori playing with Toko. Hiyori, have you seen Luffy's group anywhere? And then Hiyori says, they've left already. They said their goodbyes to everyone this morning. Wow. And then Toko's laughing, saying,
I miss them.
and then Momonosuke goes, huh? And then he thinks, but they said nothing to me. And then Kinemon goes, Lord Momonosuke! Kinemon, Luffy's gone! I just learned myself. They said their goodbyes to everyone, but why not us? And then we go to the Tokage port in Udon. And then we cut to Kid, Law, and Luffy as Law says, pick a different day, Straw Hat. The alliance is over. We're enemies now. And then Luffy says, too bad. We've already decided on today. And then Kid goes, oh well, guess we're all going now. Let's pick our directions. The middle one, east. The middle one, east. Northeast. So I get my choice. Oh wow, so Kid wants to go to the middle one in the log post east. And then Luffy wants to go east as well. And then Law wants to go northeast. Northeast. So I get my choice. Going northeast means I move the farthest ahead. And then, oh wait, here it is right here. The log post needles are fixed in 3 directions. Oh, Luffy says, sorry, I misread this. Tokage Port Udon, pick a different day, Straw Hat. The alliance is over. We're enemies now. Too bad. We already decided on today. Oh well, guess we're all going now. Let's pick our directions. And Luffy then says, I almost overlooked this. My apologies. The log post needles are fixed in 3 directions. Northeast, east, and southeast. Pick one. The middle one, east. The middle one, east. Northeast. So I get my choice. And then Law goes, going northeast means I move the farthest ahead. Ah! Says Luffy and Kid. You picked the middle, stupid children.
No, I lost at straws. I'm sorry, everyone.
Says Luffy. And then Kid goes, east. And then Usopp goes, every direction is dangerous. It doesn't matter. Just help us load up, Luffy. And then Luffy screams at Kid going, darn, I lost even though I'm an Emperor of the Sea. You're gonna rub it in my face, huh? Again, Kid gets annoyed at this. And then he goes, but when it comes to the Emperors, the one who really makes me mad is him. And it shows, ah! Woo! Wow! Woo! Wow! 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 Hold up! 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 Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Whoa! 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 Wow! The one who really makes me mad is him, the genius jester, Buggy. Huh? What is this? We see Buggy in this big poster. What do they call it? With it being called Cross Guild. And in between, and it's got 2 swords behind a Buggy clown Jolly Roger. And right next to Buggy, in between these swords, is Crocodile and Mihawk! What? They're with Buggy! Crocodile and Mihawk are with Buggy! I'm so glad I'm the only one in my house right now. Wow! What in the ever-living heck is this? And Luffy goes, it's Crocodile and Hawkeyes. And then this pricks up Zoro's ears. What? Why are they shown like they're Buggy's followers? Huh. That's not possible. Not for Hawkeyes. And then Law goes, Well, if he's got 2 men of their stature working for him, he deserves to be called an emperor. And then Luffy goes,
You know he's an idiot, right? How did that happen?
and then Kid goes, it seems like this cross-guild company he leads is starting putting bounties on the Navy. Whoa! Excuse me? Seems like this cross-guild company he leads has started putting bounties on the Navy! The Navy's been used to doing all the chasing, but these days they have to fear assassination from civilians. While we were stuck here in this closed nation, the world around us has changed quite a bit. No complaints about our respective courses. Once we set foot outside of Wano, we're in a fight to the death like all the others. Wow! And then he just drops the paper. No, someone else drops it. He just drops the paper and then... Oh, it's the rope poneglyph. He drops the paper and then Kid goes, what is that, Trafalgar? A copy of the rope poneglyph. You have just as much a right to it as we do. Only a trifling man would sneak out to a head start. So Kaido... And then Killer goes, so Kaido did have one of them. The same thing we took off Big Mom's general. We're gonna have to put all of our strength into this task if we want to take part in the all-out war over the One Piece. And then Kid goes, what? You mean finding the man with the burn scar? That's not enough to go on. And then Luffy goes, huh? Burn scar? What do you mean? And Law doesn't say anything. And then Robin doesn't say anything. I think I know who they're talking about. You don't know? Sounds like we've got the advantage. Come on, tell me! I think they're talking about Sabo. Because he's got a burn scar. At least I think that's a burn scar, isn't it? Are they talking about Sabo? They have to be talking about Sabo. Then we cut back to the Flower Capital. Are you gone too, Yamato?
Is that you, Momonosuke? I'm up here.
Where is that? On the roof again?
Well, I've made up my mind. Guess I'll go to Luffy and his crew. I'm going to live the way Kozuki Oden did.
And that's the end of the chapter. And we're going on break. Wow, wait a minute. Wait just a cotton-picking minute right now. Hold up. Wait, hold on. There's so much going on right here. Okay, Shinobu's back to her slimmer size. We found out that Okobori Town's been completely burned, and Tsuru got burned as well. We find out that Nekomamushi and Inuarashi hereby proclaim Carrot to be the new ruler of Zou because they want to stay in Wano. Then a couple of days pass, and the Straw Hats and everyone else is already at Tokage Port preparing to sail out. And they're trying to pick a direction. Law gives up the rope poneglyph so that everyone has a fair start. Then we find out that Buggy has created his own guild. And Crocodile and Mihawk has apparently partnered up with him. And they apparently are leading a guild that puts bounties out on Navy officials as well. Just as in the past, when the Navy put out bounties on pirates, pirates are now putting bounties on the Navy. And if I go back a page here, I see numerous people. What does that say? I can't even make out the name of it. I can't even really make out the name of it. They put bounties on people to hunt down. And not only that, but everyone else finds out about Pluton. Caribou hears about Pluton and says that he needs to let a certain person know about Pluton. So it appears that Caribou is linked with someone powerful. I'm thinking. Maybe Caribou's working for Blackbeard. Let me just see what everyone has said so far. Katakuri returns. Break next week. Works out fine for me because you'll be on a road trip for 6 days starting tomorrow. It works out just fine. What can Caesar do against Katakuri? Very little. Kin in love is super wholesome. It really is. Happy to see his wife after all these years. From the Aldemings, Carrot got elected. Who voted for her? I call shenanigans. Shishilian's more qualified to be Duke. I feel like that's the case. I wonder why. I feel like it's the whole aspect of she carries Pedro's will, and that has Nekomamushi and Inuarashi seeing her as more qualified. Even though Wanda seems more level-headed, even Shishilian seems more level-headed, I guess that's what they contribute to Carrot and everything. Plus, Carrot has seen a whole bunch of other things out there in the world with her adventures with the Straw Hat crew, so maybe that's the edge. I don't know. Last chance for Carrot for Straw Hat Cope. Is she going to reverse Vivi and get on board the Sunny rather than accept the burden? Classic Oda. Shinobu got a liposuction. Now we want to see Raizo. Shinobu the waifu is back, so people are going to be happy. More slim as in not having her own gravity pool. How is he still alive? He should have been gone at Fishman Island. If you mean Caribou, then he's been around. He was actually in Udon prison during the events of Wano and tried to buddy up and partner with Luffy in order to get some free Oshiruko during that time. And he got broken out when they took over Udon. He was also there to give Luffy all the meat necessary for him to come back and recuperate during his final fight with Kaido. He was down there with Law's crew, saying he had like a month's worth of food stored up in his swamp fruit. Caribou's either talking about Dragon or Caribou. Never expected Caribou to be important, but it looks like he might be. That's the thing. That's the thing. You never would expect Caribou to have some lingering connection to possibly someone powerful. I wonder if that someone is Blackbeard, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's Dragon. I already see it. Vivi goodbye 2.0. What, they're not going to say goodbye to Momo? That's messed up. King of Fraudulence, Buggy D Clown, Yonko Buggy strikes again. It'd be funny if Mihawk and Crocodile use Buggy as a frontman and they're all the real leaders. The theory was true. Mihawk teamed up with Buggy, but I didn't see Crocodile doing the same thing. Now we know why he's an emperor. He's an emperor because he has former warlords working with him. And I say working with him with big quotes because we don't know the ulterior motives of Mihawk and Crocodile. Even Zoro said in this chapter, huh? Hawkeyes is with him? That doesn't sound like him. So there's got to be some underlying reason why Crocodile and Crocodile and Mihawk are working with Buggy. It's certainly not because Buggy's powerful, because they both outclass him easily. It's not because his fell down inmates are powerful, because they still outclass them. Who did the art design on the Cross Guild poster guy working hard for Morgan's? Unless it's Buggy's own design, which would be even funnier. Buggy's out here, and we still don't know what happened to Hancock or Weevil. Exactly. I was thinking that the bounty posters that Kid was showing had like Weevil's poster, but no, when he said it was about Navy people, then it showed just Navy officials on the wanted posters as well. Cross Guild seems like the Dark Brotherhood of One Piece. Ooh. I really wish Hancock doesn't get sold and fends off Kobe. I feel like the one reason why Kobe will be spared against the Amazon Lilies and Hancock is Kobe and Hancock's affiliation with Luffy. I feel if they reach common ground with that, then it won't just be like Kobe's just there to arrest Hancock, because let's be honest here, Kobe's strong, but he's not Hancock strong. Talk about poetic justice. The hunters have become the hunted. Exactly, Ozzy. Exactly. Years upon years, the world government has had it on themselves to put bounties on pirates in order to keep pirates in line, in order to keep their rule of the world going. But now the tables have turned, and the pirates are putting bounties on the Navy and the world government. So now the prey has become the predator. Speaking of prey, I still need to watch that new Predator movie that just released. I heard it's actually quite good. Marine bounties have stars or crowns instead of cash numbers like Dressrosa. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. Yes, Sabo has a burn scar. I just had to do that. I just had to confirm. Someone theorized that the man with the burn scar could be a survivor of Ohara. So real quick, even though Sabo has a burn scar, it's very easy to automatically think that it's Sabo. But then again, remember that Oda said that the Straw Hats are going to meet a legend from the past in the future. So could this person with a burn scar actually be the legend from the past? An old legend from the past that Oda mentioned? Because it's very easy to think of Sabo, especially after the last chapter, where Sabo is seen as the Flame Emperor and the person with possibly more influence than Dragon to the world right now. It's very easy to think that at that moment because the last chapter just seems like it matches up. But this is Oda we're talking about. We need to take literally everything with a grain of salt. So even though it seems probable, this is still Oda, and he's very capable of throwing us for a loop. And we don't know if Zoro ever visited Ryuma's grave yet, but so many bombs have been dropped in this chapter, 1,000 out of 1,000. Never thought of an Ohara survivor. That would be awesome. That's a cursed picture. What's a cursed picture? What did you do? Kohagen, what did you upload? The body of Whitebeard, but with the face of Buggy, with him holding his hand out to Mihawk, going, "Become my son." That truly is cursed. Does Mihawk have a scar on his chest in that poster? No. No, I think that's just like the part of his collarbone right there. I think that's what that is. And it just has like the lines going across it for a shadow or whatever. But I don't think that's a scar. Because imagine Mihawk having a actual scar. Huh. Could we finally see Scooper Gabin? We haven't seen... You know, out of all the members of Roger's crew, we have not seen Gabin... We have not seen Gabin at all. Like, we know of Crocus, we know of Rayleigh, but we don't know much about Gabin, the dude that was right next to Rayleigh. Hold on. Bring up Mihawk. Let me bring up one of his pictures. No, that can't... That's not a scar. That is definitely not a scar. That's like on where his collarbone is. Like, near his sternum. It has to be. Because ain't no way you're gonna have Mihawk join up with Buggy and he has like a visual scar on him. Because then it'll call into question, how did Mihawk get injured? Is he still the world's greatest swordsman if he's never been injured before? Like, Mihawk is one of those characters. Good to see you, Destruct. I'm going through the whole review portion of this. But Mihawk is... Wow. I forgot to change up my title because it still says reaction, review, and reflections. I'm sorry, I forgot. Because when I do these, I do like a basic reuse settings for my stream, but I forgot to change the title there. I'm so sorry for it being extra long there in the title. It's back to reaction and review. My apologies, but I don't think Mihawk has a scar on him. I still think he's one of those few characters in the One Piece series that may never get an official scar on him until he fights, until he actually fights Zoro. Was it ever confirmed if Scooper was one of the people featured at the beginning of Marineford? Scopper, not Scooper, but Scopper. Hold on, let me check something. It doesn't show anything. Like, the only thing he's affiliated with was the Roger Pirates and, you know, going up against Odin, but that was like a filler battle. But it doesn't show him being there at the beginning of Marineford or anything like that, as far as I know. This scar reminds me of Rambo, Last Blood. That scar pattern just looks similar to Crocodile's face. That was one of the most epic things you've seen in movies when Rambo tortured that drug lord. I honestly don't think that that's a scar on... I don't think that's a scar on Mihawk. I don't think that is. I honestly don't think so. But then again, you never know. You never know. Because if you see Mihawk with a scar, that would kind of mess with his credibility, and then people think like, oh, he's been scarred, which means that he can be fought, which means he can be killed, which means I can take on Mihawk. But you never know. If we see Mihawk during this whole cross guild and he doesn't have a scar on him, then Mihawk's spotless record remains intact. But what a chapter! And then it caps off with Yamato saying that Yamato wants to join, go to Luffy and his crew. I'm going to live the way Kozuki Oden did. And that's the last thing we see of Yamato, and then it ends the chapter. And like that, we're basically left on break for the next 2 weeks. We're on a break. Sure, you're referring to the old man smoking the pipe with the tattoo on his head? As soon as I pulled up Scomper Gabin, it had that same image of that person. It had that same image of the dude with the glasses and the bald head and the tattoo, smoking a pipe, and he's got those big earrings. That's the first thing that pulls up in images. That's the first thing that pulls up in Scopper's images. But that would mean that there's someone who could fight Mihawk, and I like the idea. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I remain behind the idea that Mihawk is still spotless when it comes to, you know, scars and everything. Imagine Yamato gets there and Luffy says no, or they already left without her. I wouldn't be surprised. Because knowing Luffy, he may sometimes forget, but who knows? We'll have to see. But all I know is the Straw Hats are at the port. We are ready to set sail from Wano, everyone. They're already at the port. Days upon days later, the Straw Hats are at the port preparing to leave the country. Which means when we leave Wano, which could be in the next chapter or the chapter after the next, that's when we enter into the next phase. That's when we can say that Wano is over. When they have left Wano, that's when we can say Wano is over. We are on the precipice. Oda pretty much skipped ahead with a lot of extra stuff that we kind of probably didn't need to see, and already has the Straw Hats left from the Flower Capital, already at Tokage, preparing to leave. They're just trying to figure out a direction. And they pretty much kind of solved that already in this chapter, but we already got the Straw Hats preparing to leave Wano now. Man, how long has it been? We've been in Wano for what, 2 years? 2.5 years? I feel like we've been in Wano for about 2.5 years now. They've only been in Wano for... Yeah, exactly, Grant. Exactly. They've only been in Wano for a couple of weeks for them, but years for us. Years. Looking forward to following the log post for the first time since reaching Fishman Island? Right. Because they've just... Wow, that's right. Wow. Neil, you're right. This is the first time they're looking at the log post for the first time since reaching Fishman Island. Yeah, since reaching Fishman Island, when they were leaving, and then the minister was letting Nami know, hey, don't go in this direction because it's very dangerous. Luffy, if you go by the anime, he looped around Nami and says like, that seems like fun, and we're going to go in that direction. And that jump-started them making their way out of Fishman Island, and they just happened to go across to Punk Hazard because of a distress call being called out. But this is going to be the first time that they actually go by the log post this time since Fishman Island. They actually, it's like Jack Sparrow saying to Mr. Gibbs, Mr. Gibbs, we have all heading. They have their heading now. Chapter 1058 will be the 150th chapter of Wano. Ooh, we'll have to see if it extends that long. But how I feel about it, to everyone here, both everyone who's been here and to new people, if you just happen to be new here, I am excited to see where the One Piece story goes after we leave Wano. We've been in Wano for years, for a exceedingly long amount of time, longer than Dressrosa. And to see this entire story set, because we go by arcs and sagas, and that's how we got discombobulated about the correct way of seeing the story go by. I'm very excited to see this part of the Wano section of One Piece's story. I don't think I'm gonna call it arcs and sagas anymore, because Japan doesn't see arcs and sagas as two separate things or two separate classifications. So I'm just gonna call it sections of One Piece's story. But I'm excited to see the end of Wano's portion of One Piece's story, because when we enter into the new chapter of One Piece's story, the newest chapter of One Piece's story, that's going to be just anybody's guess. Like the next big thing that the Straw Hats are about to do. We've been hyped up for Wano for years, and now that we're here, we've seen everything that happened. We learned so many new things. And I'm excited to see where the story goes. I'm really curious about the Scar guy, most probably Sabo or Akiji. Oh, Kuzan is a burned Scar man as well. I didn't think of that. I'm glad I'm addressing this right now. It could be Sabo, it could be Kuzan, or it could be somebody new that we've never seen. But Kuzan, though, that's interesting. Now I got to throw him into the mix and seriously release Zoro's bounties. And yes, y'all saying we're Neil, who is it? Kohagen said we still don't have the bounties for the Straw Hats. We don't have the new bounties since Zoro took down King and Sanji took down Queen. Their bounty should increase, especially taking down members of Kaido's crew. We're on break. One Piece withdrawals begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I need my One Piece. 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 See you in 2 weeks. The next story has to be Elbaf. It's been mentioned since the beginning of the Grand Line. We've been hyped up for Elbaf for decades. Yeah, we have. We have. Kind of leaves a nervous feeling in your stomach, doesn't it? We're on the precipice of leaving Wano, and we have no tangible idea where we're about to go. It's both scary, but also kind of fun, because now we get to enter into a brand new chapter of One Piece. A brand new chapter with new powerful people, new adversaries, new settings, new secrets that Oda is about to unveil to us. I love One Piece because it just leaves you wanting more. Same for My Hero Academia, which I need to get started in a few. But as far as this chapter goes, and I hope I haven't been droning on, just talking your ears off, I just have to say, as far as this story goes, I'm immensely excited to see what new thing that One Piece is about to show us. But we're going on break, so we're just going to have to wait on Oda to give us that information. And as soon as I end this stream, I am putting chapter 1057 on my muted word list so I don't see anything on accident. Luffy's luck often pays off. Could this specific loss to Kid in drawing straws be fate? First time since Punk Hazard we don't know where we're going? Yeah. We don't know where we're going! We don't know where we're going! Since Punk Hazard, we knew, hey, we need to get to Wano, and then we need to get to Dressrosa, and to find this person who's there. Then we need to go to Zou to find this person who's there, and then we need to make our way to Wano. But then we got turned up, we got sidetracked to Whole Cake Island and dealt with Big Mom just to get Sanji back. And as soon as we got Sanji back, we had to all come back to Wano to bring down Kaido. But now that that's been done, we have no idea where we're about to go. For the past several, and I want to say several years, because when did Punk Hazard get started? I need to know. Punk Hazard got started in what year? What year? 2000, and for the manga, Punk Hazard started in 2012. So for the past 10 years. Wow, a decade? A decade. What year was the first chapter? What was the first chapter? Chapter 654. What year was that? What chapter was 654? Chapter 654. What year was that? That day was on January 30th. Okay, so let's do this. January 30th, 2012 to now. How many years? How long ago was January 30th, 2012? Yeah, 10 years. 10 years. 10 years, 6 months, and 8 days. 10 years we've been on this journey leading from Punk Hazard all the way to Wano. We've been on this journey for... Has it been 10 years since Punk Hazard? Has it really been 10 years? That's a whole decade. I'm sorry. First time, and Law has been with the Straw Hat since Punk Hazard also, so he's finally gone. Yes, the alliance that brought them all together ends today. Pretty much ended today. The Straw Hat Pirate Mink Ninja Samurai Alliance is now done. Alliances are done now. Everyone's back to being enemy pirates with each other. You was 10 years old back then? Wow. Punk Hazard started when you was 10 years old, and now you're 10 years older now. 10 years. We started from Punk Hazard and the events that would lead into Wano up until this very moment. But it's been 10 years. 10 years for Punk Hazard, Dressrosa, Zoe, the events of the Reverie, and the events of Wano. 10 years altogether for this journey of getting rid of Kaido, joining up in an alliance to bring down Kaido, and then all the events that link Doflamingo, all the events that... wow, so much stuff to process. So I'm glad I'm getting all the volumes of One Piece right now. I'm getting close, but I just want to... One day, I'm just going to sit down and read One Piece from beginning all the way up until hopefully I'm still around to see its end. Hopefully, Lord willing, God willing, I see the end of One Piece. And when I do, I'm going to read it from beginning to end. But it's like, wow. Over 25 years of One Piece and 10 years since we've been in Punk Hazard. I'm droning on again. My apologies. But man, how many years of our lives have we dedicated to One Piece? You was 36 when Punk Hazard started. You was 16 10 years ago and still in school. 10 years ago, I was 20. Don't know how someone can just keep going and going and going for this long. Persistence and determination. That's how. Which is why Oda is such a legend. But I said my piece. We'll have plenty of times to talk about One Piece because I wanted to put forth this idea that I had for future streams that I want to do. Something to, shake it up from manga reactions and gaming streams that I do. How would y'all feel about me just having streams where I just talk to you guys? Just simply talking about stuff, about life, stuff, media, movies, TV, games, and all sorts of things. But just streams where I'm just sitting here, just talking to you. Person to person. How would y'all feel about that? Because that's something that's been in my mind for a while that I kind of want to do. But I'll keep you guys posted. I'll keep you guys posted about where I can fit that in, with all the other stuff that I'm doing. But I kind of feel like I want to do that. Just us just genuinely talking and just enjoying the conversation. I feel like I want to do that. But I'll work out when I want to get that started. Like I said, I'll keep you all posted. So Q&A type streams? Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Something exactly like that. But yeah, that's been my reaction for One Piece. And it's time to move on to My Hero Academia. And I would have done my episode reaction for One Piece last night, but I was just mad tired. I was just tired. I crashed and burned before 10, and I was asleep ever since until I woke up at like 5 and 6 this morning. But that's my reaction to One Piece. I enjoyed it, but we're going on break. So now we got to wait to see what bombshell Oda's about to drop on us this upcoming chapter. Because firstly, he dropped the bombshell of Carrot being the new ruler of Zou. Then he drops the bombshell of Sukiyaki revealing himself to Momonosuke and Hiyori, which I thought he wanted to keep hidden. Kinemon had no idea that it was Sukiyaki, but everyone else kind of knew, but they didn't want to say anything. Kinemon being oblivious as always. Then we find out that Buggy has created a cross guild that Crocodile and Mihawk are a part of now. So we don't even know how fully extensive that is. And whether or not Boa Hancock falls into that group, or what's going on with Boa Hancock, and they're now hunting down and putting bounties out on Navy officials. So the world truly has changed since all this stuff is... The world outside of Wano truly has changed. But I'm very anxious to see where the story goes. But we just don't know where it's going to go. Because as soon as we're done with Wano and we leave, it is anyone's guess. But, like I said, let me not drone on any longer than I already have. All I can say at the end of the day is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, and maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. Now to get started with My Hero Academia, because, boy, is that story getting good.